In 1988, my inner planes mentor, Thoth Hara, spoke to me about the Capstone Pyramid ceremony, but actually it's an initiation. And within it, there was a particular section that he brought forth, which he called the Pillar of Enoch. Now, he was giving me, he made it clear that he was giving me a version that could be accepted in frequency by humanity at the time, which is still the case, and not the higher version that, might not be compatible with us yet because we're not ready for it. So this is the simpler version. Even so, I feel it is very powerful and something that you might care to listen to experience, especially now with the activational art, to accept into your being if you so choose. So that is how it all came about in 1988. So now let us begin. First, I'm going to quote to you from N. Spencer Lewis in The Symbolic Prophecy of the Great Pyramid. The oldest of the writings of the ancients referred to the Great Pyramid as the Pillar of Enoch. Turning to the Bible, we find references to Enoch's life are given as having covered 365 years. This being symbolic of the number of days in the year is typical of other references to a year of years, which was called by the ancients the phoenix cycle. The word phoenix is the Greek word for the Egyptian word HANOK, which means the house of Enoch, having been built by the Phoenicians who were the descendants of Enoch. Now that's the end of the quotation. And I state, this quotation gives an important correlation with the fact that my sources refer to the highly evolved souls who work on a special frequency with Earth as Enochian masters. Thoth tells me he is an Enochian master, among other titles reflecting various spiritual stations and dynamics. These souls are being brought into the center of the earth, into the sacred hollow, once again through the Great Pyramid, which acts as an assimilator for their high-frequencied envelopes of being. I feel it is important to realize that one of the functions of the Great Pyramid of Giza was and is the assimilation of energies from supraconscious sources of both eclectic and random natures. The Capstone Transformation initiation of HANOK is given in the form of a guided visualization, yet its properties are very real and cohesive with our present realities. We will be applying the reality of Egyptian archetypes for personal balancing and healing, as well as extending this focus on a planetary level to all facets of our world. Before we begin an understanding of the word archetype as it is applied within this ceremony initiation, let us explore the deep meaning of archetype in general according to the Thothic perspective. In Webster's dictionary, archetype is defined as an original pattern or model, yet the word takes on a broader meaning in the psychology of inner mystery schools. The ancients of Egypt understood the dimensional quality of thought, that once emitted from a sentient source, it became an indestructible vibration. They believed that filaments of individual patternings of this vibration could become even stronger if compounded, that is to say, reinforced through repetition. Through ritual procedure, building thought upon thought, in a specific direction of consciousness, an entity of powerful conduct would be formed. This entity was not a soul, but a composition of thought with strong one-purpose sensitivity. Perhaps one purpose is a bit too constrained a term, as these thought entities had layers to them, but all these layers had one access point and one common principle. It was this commonality that created the entities with which the Egyptian priests and priestesses worked in tandem. There are natural universal archetypes created from the expression of angelic beings and divine order, into which all these Egyptian archetypes are commerged. By linking and working with the Atomic Logos, we can build our own prototypes for healing conductivity. I wish to pause in the reading for a moment to address Atomic Logos. The Aton, according to Thoth, is the solar expression, the sacred solar. It comes out of the atonic field, the atoma of the central sun of the earth, and the toma of our heart, or above the heart, and the atoma within the star suns. So atonic is sort of a representation of that field of energy that was brought into expression through the most ancient Egyptians. And the Logos, of course, is the word, the activation of it. It should be understood that these archetypes are responsive to the needs of souls who summon them, as they were so programmed in the beginning of time and later reinforced within the cultural frames of this world, such as Atlantean, Egyptian, Greek, etc. However, each archetype is responsive only to the focus addressed and will act only in a way that is in harmony with the universal codes of spiritual morality. As we work with these creative logos, it should be acknowledged that together they form a concert of building thought and energy patterns. In the days of antiquity, initiates worked on one level while other initiates were working on levels below or above them. It was something like a round of eternal song, where each intoning was done to strengthen and direct the visualized manifestations. These radiant pictures were set upon the etheric wind in the solar boats of mind and spirit. Thus there was a continuous streaming forth of united thought forms, impacting and co-merging, constructing a pyramid of balance, healing, and abundance. There are two separate journeys to our Capstone Transformation, which is the simplified version of the more ancient matrix. These are the Barge of Sirius and the Temple of Isis. Each of these depicts the identified levels through which we will pass in our transformation process through this procedure. Your part is simply to relax and follow my lead as you allow yourself to flow with the sea current of the greater ocean to which we all must one day surrender, that passage of light that binds us to eternity and fills our spirit with timeless enchantment. Visualize now the vast horizon, forever opening and unfolding, continuous in its pristine possibilities of wonder. In our Barge of Sirius, we now begin with the River of the Scarab. The Scarab is the archetype of renewal and transformational rebirth. When working on the River of the Scarab, visualize the sacred scarab as spreading its wings and vibrating them to a hum, a tone which quickens your spirit to renew itself. Feel these signals enter the bottom of your feet and vibrate upward through your form, especially resonant with each major chakra it touches. Once it has passed through the crown chakra at the top of the head, see the scarab fly out of this point and into the center of the earth. Feel the vibrating energy stir the entire planet into a transformational rebirthing. The River of the Ankh. This archetype is the manifestation of life force through a co-creative aspect with humanity. Life force is unmanifest until it links with the human condition. The Ankh reveals the cooperative effort as much greater than merely the creation of the physical. Beyond this condition is the inherent ability of the human complex, soul, mind, and body, to interact with and affect the greater logos of divinity. The Ankh addresses the element within us that is God. We are co-creators with the universe and not victims of circumstances or celestial whims. The Ankh is therefore also a symbol of divine love, manifest in the world, but not of it. Visualize the Ankh as your body, arms outstretched, with your feet touching the seed, embryonic fluid, and your head containing the luminous intelligence of your God self, merged with the sun of our solar system. Allow yourself to interact with the creative process as the power of life feeds the earth through your Ankh form. River of the Winged Disc. As you flow down the river of the winged disc on your barge of Sirius, you enjoy the emancipation of your soul from the lesser world. The archetype of the winged disc is one of flight into the greater regions of consciousness, where only the purity of flight itself is sustained. Any thought heavier than a feather acts like a boulder, tying the initiate to the gravity of his/her own mind. Within the embrace of the winged disc is found divine guidance and the inspiration needed to achieve any spiritually motivated goal. When soaring with the winged disc, the initiate receives the radiance and ecstasy of the true self-expression. The formless mind sets free all inhibitions and accepts only images and ideas that are illumined by truth and beauty. Fear is no longer a boundary, for one has plunged into the depths of an airy sea where such gravities are non-existent. Visualize the expression of your spirit, loosened to the winds, flying above your barge as it pursues the star sea. Transfer this weightless spirit to the earth and all who live upon it. Sea of Sirius. You, the initiate, have reached the Sea of Sirius, bright star of the Great Bear. To the Egyptian priesthood, this star was the gateway to illumination through the knowledge of karma. In understanding karma and its personal hold on that individual, one is able to transcend its bounds and receive grace. Thus Sirius is the star of grace, for once seen, it reflects this understanding to your lower self, illuminating your entire being. On your magical barge, you have passed through all the rivers leading to this radiant source. Now you are received unto its keeping. Visualize this receipt by surrounding yourself with a beautiful turquoise sea, and upon the horizon a white star glistens. It is melodic, calling to your soul. You have found that center of harmony for you and for your mother planet. Now that you have traversed the 3 rivers of the star and are upon the Sea of Sirius, you approach the temple of Isis. It is in the midst of an island in the Star Sea. Before you are allowed to disembark from the barge, you are given your feather of truth from Mayet, the guardian of truth. It is she who weighs your heart upon a scale. If the feather she places upon the opposite balance is equal in weight, and your heart does not tip the scale, so you are worthy and ready to enter the temple of Isis. Visualize this ritual of weighing for yourself and as a representative for Earth and all her inhabitants. So as Mayat gives you in ceremony your feather of truth, experience your own personal identification with karmic absolution and as planetary ambassador for the world as well. With your feather badge, you are free of self-judgment and ready to enter the temple. The Temple of Isis. We begin with the Gate of Anubis. This is the first gate through which you must pass in gaining entrance to the Temple of Isis. This archetype is seen as the sleek hunting dog for the ancient Egyptians. Anubis is the opener of ways, the guardian, and in its etheric form is that of the Kaibit, or shadow. His focus is one of protected journeys and easy navigation through troubled waters. He is the companion, protector of the initiate, and as such should be addressed by the initiate with these words or sentiments. I, initiate of the Temple of Isis, doth summon thee, Anubis, opener of ways, to my stead. Guide my journey through darkness into light. Be mine artful companion who guides my soulship away from the jagged rocks and sets my heart sail into the wind. Spend a few moments visualizing Anubis and experience the aura of his wise protection surrounding you. Now you are ready to sit upon the first seat of the temple. Seat of Bast. Bast is the twin sister of Horus. She is the goddess of joy and patroness of cats. Her etheric form is the Ba, or soul. This archetype's focus is personified in the happiness of the fulfilled heart. She issues forth healing of the mind, devotion, protection, and generosity. While on this level of initiation, visualize the goddess as dancing before you, whirling and bending gracefully as her symbol of music, the sistrum, an ankh-shaped rattle, jingles a rhythm of joy and accompaniment. As you watch Bast dance to the song of life, see yourself in her, moving to the music. Then, with your arms of Bast, embrace the beautiful blue planet of Earth and infuse it with the living beat of joy. Feel all the sorrows of the world lift as a white dove, soaring into the eternal rays of Ra. Gate of Thoth. The Lord of Time, Thoth, is given the prestigious titles of Keeper of the Akashic Records, Scribe to the Gods, and Patron of Healers. His etheric form is the ibis, a long-legged water bird. This archetype focuses healing and health, the law, education, and scholarship. He is, in addition, the gatekeeper of karma and fate. Through Thoth, the initiate is given the key to his or her own authority and self-government. Thoth represents the God self within us, and to whom we must relinquish the control of our lesser selves. In doing so, we become, as the poem goes, master of our fate and captain of our soul. Visualize the Lord of Time as a being who is the gateway to your own command. As he hands you the keys, begin to unlock the doors within you that hold you back from ascending to the next seat of the temple. Say, I, the initiate, doth summon Thoth, Master Illuminate, to inscribe my name upon the gateway of time, so that I may become enlightened through the traversing of my soul therein. Allow yourself to feel the energies of this powerful archetype imbue you with the strength of your own life mastery, transferring that essence to mankind. The seat of Nephlis. The hidden one, the revealer. She is the sister of Isis and mother of Anubis, who strikes the chord of receptivity and mysticism. She conceals that which is not yet ripened to fruition, so that the fragile embryo will not be exposed to the harshness of the world until it has had time to crystallize into full form. This archetype also reveals that for which the time has come. The energies that are now at hand to work for the initiate come forth from the mouth of Nephthys. Her emblem is a chalice, for her focus is upon the most sacred mysteries. When the force of spirit merges with the soul initiate, these inner mysteries will become a mantle of wisdom placed by Nephthys upon the shoulders of the spiritual warrior, Knight of the Grail. The etheric form of Nephthys is the Ka, or etheric double. Visualize the goddess Nephthys as a grand matron surrounded by delicate veils of mist, extending to you the grail of the inner mysteries. Experience holding the cup in your hands and partaking of its awakening elixir. Feel the centers of your body respond to illumination as the long-kept secret of life is known to you, perhaps not in words, but within the syllables of your heart. Extend the cup to the world. Gate of Horus. The son of Isis and Osiris and brother of Bast, Horus is the patron of homes and families. He is also the power of the serpent to rise above the lesser nature. His focus is the pure of heart, and his virtues are courage, heroism, harmony, artistry, beauty, and creativity. Horus is a healer of the physical body, offering aid also to the spiritually oppressed. He represents that bonding principle that is the essence of the harmonious family unit, whether it be a single family or a family of the world or the universe. The etheric form for Horus is the Sahu, or spiritual body. Visualize the emblem of Horus, an all-seeing eye. Allow its non-judgment stare to penetrate your third eye. Know that you are revealed to the center of the universe as a child of its fold. As one among the family, so you are everyone of the family. Feel all loneliness dissipate within you, your weariness replaced with knowledge that you are not alone. You are at the center of your oneness with all souls, all radiant aspects of the one. Feel the radiation of this knowledge infuse all lonely souls on the earth, imbuing them with courage and a sense of completeness within themselves. Say now, Horus, eye of the divine light, bring forth thy sight for me and my kind, enlighten us to the oneness of the universe. Seat of Hathor. The illuminate female identity is personified by this archetype. She is also attuned to astrology, organization, and confidence. Through her magic mirror, she radiates protection from the evil eye, which is a symbol for psychic power of an adversary nature. The mirror acts as a shield, allowing the initiate to see the face of his attacker without an eye-to-eye contact. Hathor's etheric form is the Sekhem, or power. When in her most powerful focus, she is transformed into Sekhmet, the lion-headed goddess, who is the feminine spiritual warrior. Hathor is the archetypal nature of feminine balance. She is the Earth's perfect polarity, opposite to the masculine positive charge of the world. Now I will pause to say, yes, he is speaking of the world, and not the Earth. She is Earth's perfect polarity, opposite to the masculine positive charge of the world. The world is the organization of human consciousness. The earth is the feminine divine center of being. Visualize Hathor as this perfect feminine patroness of women, goddess of beauty, love, and strength. See her warm and radiant smile fill you with the blessings of the feminine aspect within you. Remember, men and women contain both gender charges, with only one externalized. In Australian Dreamtime, these two coexistent forces within us are called the sacred twins. Reach within your consciousness and see yourself in past experience as having lived in both male and female forms. Draw the oneness of man and woman into your heart and mind and see each as a complement to the other. Release any fears or resentment you may be harboring concerning the female. Then do the same for the male. Accept the gifts of Hathor, which are the gifts of the goddess Earth to her children. See the globe upon which we all live, surrounded with the goddess's love, melting away all enmity between the sexes. Once you have mastered the seat of Hathor, you are ready to receive your buckle of Isis before passing through the final gateway. The buckle of Isis is the magical knot signifying the union of forces within the initiate that have come together through knowledge and wisdom. It is the power and protection, but also this sacred knot represents the understanding of our linking or binding with all humanity. It is thus a karmic symbol as well, for along with the rewards of knowledge and wisdom, so we are enlightened to the sufferings of others and our obligation to nourish all souls along the path we tread, even at a sacrifice to our own comfort and security. See a handmaiden of the grand goddess Isis bestow unto you the buckle of the sacred binding. As the gift is given you, accept it also for the world, for all those upon your path who cannot yet be awakened. Now you are worthy to pass through the gate of Osiris. Gate of Osiris. He who guardians this gate is the God King and Lord of Light. His etheric form is the Ku, or spirit. His emblem is the Jed, or stylized tree. His virtues are wisdom, justice, integrity, stability, and responsibility. When you come to his gate, your soul must seek the flame of self-judgment, not in its critical stance, but as the greatest sight which cuts through self-deception with forgiveness and releases true understanding. Osiris is the wise counsel who reaches down into the mire of doubt and lifts the initiate into the unclouded sky. He is truly the Lord of Light, for his strength is in the initiate's faith in divine power, found anchored within his greater self. This divinity within is always accessible to the lesser self, who has only to call upon it. Visualize this archetype in the form of a majestic tree, with 4 branches representing the 4 sacred elements: air, fire, earth, and water. See Osiris as he who summons these powers forth from the void to act upon your reality. From the power of the elements you received your life, and thus you, as a God-anchoring entity, are empowered with the wise judgment of Osiris. Feel the infusion of his steadfast wisdom into your mind. See both yourself and your planetary companions as units of measure within the principle of the universal law and light. Speak these words: Osiris, justice at the foot of the throne, hear me. Cause thy integrity to act upon me, and loosen my tongue to speak thy wise counsel. You may now pass through the gate of Osiris to sit upon the throne of Isis. Throne of Isis. You are now upon the pinnacle throne within the temple. Here you receive from the archetype of Isis, wife of Osiris, mother of Horus and Bast, the patroness of magic. Her symbol is a throne, and her etheric form is the Ab, or heart. She is the personification of compassion, maternal love, and perseverance. Upon her lap is placed the supplications of all those who are heavily laden. Into her keeping are the children of the Word, whose life is the hope of the future. Visualize the divine Isis as the most regent of queens, in stately posture upon her golden throne. Seek from her the protection and nurturing of your children, all the world's children, and the child in you. Know that Isis shines through you, endowing you with her magic, which is tempered by her caring grace. You are a master of the art, having at your command the secrets of manifestation, renewal, and transformation. Yet you are also mindful of your spiritual responsibility and the laws of cause and effect. See the great Isis give unto you her most treasured substance. It pours like a drop of honey from her sacred heart. Taking the form of a bee, it tries its wings carefully, then flies into your heart. Become the golden bee of wisdom. Thus ends your initiation within the temple of Isis. Your journey of the HANOK is completed. And so it is.